Hello, I'm Twist, and welcome back to Raw Recap and Review. This is part 2 of January 26, 2026 episode of Raw in Toronto, Canada. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, get off this video. Click right there to watch part 1. Why are you watching this video if you ain't seen part 1? But if you have seen part 1, welcome to part 2, man. We're getting right into the rest of what happened to this episode. We left off with Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel fighting. Now we have an interview done by Michael Cole, and he's interviewing Gunther. And Cole basically wants to know why did he want to add this stipulation to the match. Gunther's like, I added stipulation to the match because I had nothing to gain with the rematch. But with the rematch, now with the stipulation, he can add another name to the list of him retiring people. And he says, it's kind of feels good getting rid of all these old timers, trying to take the spotlight away from young guys like himself. Even though he's like 30 something, he in his late 30s. He kind of old too, And he says he's tired of these old timers trying to chase another moment. He mentions Goldberg. He tried to chase another moment, but he ended it. He mentioned John Cena having a whole year of moments, and now he ended that. And he's not interested in AJ Styles trying to take this year's moment away from him. So that's why he wants to end his career. And then he even said something funny with Cole. He said, you've been here for a long time. I said, how long your career is, man? He said, you know what? I should end your career. He said, you know what? I'm not though. I'm not going to end your career. You know what? You want to know why? He says, I want to play back the clip of you saying at the Royal Rumble, career of the phenomenal AJ Styles is over. And then he does his maniacal Austrian laugh. After the interview segment, we get Finn talking to Adam Pearce. He's telling him, hey man, I want to be in the Rumble. And then Pearce is like, sorry gang, but fought last week. You could have told me earlier. The Rumble's full. It's like, how you gonna have the Rumble without Finn Balor? And then walks away upset. And then Liv Morgan pops up to him like, hey, what's up with you and Punk? He said, I see you all kikiing and happy that you lost. And like, you really gonna let him get in your head like that? Like, it's about the Judgment Day. What are you talking about? And then Finn's like, hey, I got something to do. Don't worry about it. Then it's time for yeet time. Yeet, yeet. Jey Uso pops out. He walks down the ramp. No, he's not there. I don't know where Jimmy is, but hopefully he'll be back there. But the reason Jey is down here is because next up is the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match for the tag team championships. We have the Creed brothers, who are back after 6 months, Julius and Brutus Creed. We have Alpha Academy, that's Akira Tozawa and Otis. We have Los Americanos, Bravo and Rayo. And then we have the New Day, which is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and they have Grayson Waller with them. And unlike the latest tag team matches with 3 people, we only have 2 in the match instead of 4. I thought it would have been cool to start with 4 people, but we have Kofi against Bravo, and they both, to start the match off, hit each other with corner monkey flips back and forth. And Kofi has the advantage after Bravo does his monkey flip. He gets distracted by Xavier Woods, and Kofi attacks him from behind. But Bravo fights back and tags in Rayo. They both do a double headbutt to Kofi and then hit their pose. After Kofi gets hit with the elbow, Tozawa tags himself into the match. He gets on the top rope and does a big hurricanrana to Rayo, and then dodges attacks from the Americanos. But then Julius Creed tags in, hits a big clothesline on Tozawa, and then him and his brother do clotheslines on the Americanos. Now all the teams are outside the ring, and at least the Brutus Creed getting on the top rope and then landing a big cannonball. He basically just throws himself into everybody on the ground. He's hype. He takes the straps off the singlet, and then they pick up Otis, and then they throw him into the steel steps. And that's how we get to the commercial break. Get back from the commercial break with Xavier Woods in the ring, landing a headlock on Tozawa into a kick, and then he tags in Kofi Kingston, and he holds up Tozawa so Kofi Kingston could do a big citrus kick. And then Rayo runs in the ring and tries to attack Kofi, but Kofi ends up throwing him out, and then he ends up tagging in Woods so they can do an assisted moonsault. So Woods picks up Kofi. Kofi flips off to do a moonsault, but Tozawa reverses it with a big boot. While the New Day are down, the Americanos try to fight Tozawa. Tozawa ends up hurricanranaing one of the Americanos into each other, and that leads into a high tag segment where he's crawling to Otis. But Bravo gets into the ring, picks up Julius Creed, and then does an airplane spin. And while he's spinning around holding him in the air, Tozawa does a big drop kick onto them knocking them both down. And now it's time for the hot tag. Big Otis knocks down everybody. Clothesline. He throwing people in the people, slamming people. It's a good, funny spot where he has Woods. He throws Woods into Ryo in the corner. Boom. Woods is on the ground now like this, and then Ryo ends up falling head first to Woods. At least Otis doing the caterpillar. It's basically the worm, but he's big, so they call it the caterpillar, I guess. I don't know. And then he goes for the caterpillar on Julius. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. Everybody stumps on Otis to stop the pin. That leads to Zawa fighting everybody off. And then one of the Creed brothers and Kofi Kingston try to stop Tozawa, but they pick him up, but he turns into a double DDT on them. And then he ends up dodging a punch from Bravo and then hit him with a big German suplex. And now it's time for Tozawa to go off. He does a suicide dive to every team. He does a suicide dive to the Americanos on the outside, the Creed brothers on the outside, and the New Day on the outside. Then back in the ring, Kofi Kingston tries to hit the Trouble in Paradise on Tozawa. He reverses it into his own version of the Trouble in Paradise. And then he gets on the top rope to do his finisher, which is a senton, but Grayson Waller hops up, throws him down. The ref is about to eject Grayson Waller on the apron, but Otis out of nowhere, boom, knocks him off the apron. And then Jay said, you know what? Let me get some super kick Grayson to pass over the barricade. Back in the ring, we get Otis knocking down the New Day, but then the Creeds ended up kicking Otis to knock him down in the corner. Then they throw the Americanos out of the ring, and then the Creed brothers, one of the Creed brothers gets down so the other brother can jump off of him. But Otis stops him out, throws them down into each other, sets over for Tozawa, tags him in. Tozawa does a fire senton. He jumps up, lands back first onto his opponent. 1, 2, 3. Alpha Academy is your #1 contenders. I'm not gonna lie, man. This match was a 4.5 star match. This match was amazing. Match was fire. Every team got their stuff in. It was fun to see. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot how cold Tozawa was for a second. I ain't gonna lie. Give him the belts, maybe? I don't know if they need the belts, but I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be an entertaining match for sure. Alpha Academy versus the Usos. After that match, we get a segment backstage with Becky Lynch getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond. She says, Jackie Redmond mentions the victory. She says it's a monumental victory, something you could never know about because Jackie Redmond's Canadian and she was wearing a Maple Leafs jersey. You know, they don't win Stanley Cups, so that's why she made that joke. She says Natalia went crazy, but I'm mad the younger person taking advantage of you. But then she announces herself for the Rumble, and then the Kabuki Warriors pop up. And Becky says to Kyrie, ahoy hoy. Kyrie interrupts and says, you can't win the Rumble because nobody's ready for Asuka. Asuka's winning the Rumble. And Becky tells, says to Kyrie, I'm gonna win the Rumble. Make sure you tell her that. And then she goes, Asuka, I don't know if you heard. And Asuka just yells at Kyrie. She's like, I heard it. And then tells Becky, I'm gonna see you in the Rumble. And she walks off. And Kyrie's trying to grab the belt from Becky, but she's pulling back. And she goes, Kyrie! I ain't gonna lie. I love the Kabuki Warriors, man. We get the last segment of the night. It's a goofy segment. So Javon hits up AJ. He's like, I know you have a big match tonight and a bigger match Saturday, but I hope I can see you. I hope we can fight during this farewell tour. And AJ Styles goes, bet. And with a crisp dap, I ain't gonna lie. And he goes, that means let's do it. He's like, Unc, I know. Yeah, I know. And then that leads on to the main event of the evening. We get the best in the world versus the phenomenal AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. Banger match, by the way. I'm just gonna get a banger match. We get into the match with a tie-up, of course. These are technical wrestlers. AJ Styles works the arm of Punk, but Punk reverses it and start working his own arm. And then he ends up turning into a roll-up, into a pin, but he get a kick out. It's the beginning of the match, of course. We get into another headlock by AJ, which turns into a kick, but that turns into a GTS attempt. That gets reversed into a calf crusher, which gets reversed into an anaconda vice, which gets reversed into a pin by AJ, but it gets another kick out. That was another stalemate right there. Then it leads into a now Punk wants to get the headlock in. He has the headlock and he turns into elbows and knees onto AJ. They get into another headlock, which leads to AJ hitting elbows on Punk, but then Punk stops the comeback with a big clothesline. Punk stops with a big clothesline, an atomic drop, which is basically when you lift your opponent and you drop them on your knee. Their dead hurts, definitely. But AJ fights out of it like it didn't hurt with an AJ Styles pristine drop kick into a sliding apron knee on the outside. They get back into the ring. AJ hits another headlock on Punk, hits him with an elbow, gets him to the corner, hits the big diving corner clothesline. AJ tries to Irish whip Punk into the corner, but Punk reverses it and Irish whips him instead into the corner. And he just slaps the shit out of the corner. Like, I ain't gonna, it was a big thud too. Punk trying to keep his momentum going. He hits him with multiple punches on the ground. That leads into his comeback. The heel kick by Punk into the crazy neck breaker. Then he throws him into the corner, hits the big knee, the bulldog, and then he start going. But he said, wait a second, this AJ Styles hits him with a shining wizard. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out, you know. Punk knows it ain't time yet, so he tried to get another move in. As saying it's time to really go to sleep now. He picks up AJ, try to go for the GTS. AJ reverses it, and now he's doing his comeback. Hits him with the big punch kick combo. Punk is on the ground, and then he hits it with a sliding forearm. We get AJ getting Punk back into the corner. Big jumping clothesline again, but Punk literally acts like it didn't happen and hits him with a big clothesline. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from AJ. Punk still trying to keep the momentum and keeps punching AJ on the ground. Picks up AJ for the GTS, but the leg gets caught by AJ, and he hits it with a Ushigoroshi. And if you don't know what an Ushigoroshi is, it's when he lifts him up in the same position the GTS was, but he flips him over like an AA onto his knee, but that gets a kick out. After the kick out, AJ gets Punk in the corner, lifts him up for a superplex, but as he's going for the superplex, he gets thrown off by Punk. Now AJ's on the ground. Punk gets on the top ropes to do the Macho Man elbow. He drops the elbow. 1, 2. AJ kicks out, but he instantly turns into an Anaconda Vice as AJ's fighting back, trying to get out of position. At least the Punk ended up pinning AJ, but AJ kicks out of it by turning that into a Styles Clash from the ground. That gets reversed into Punk slamming AJ into the corner. AJ fights back though, gets the calf crusher on Punk, but Punk fights out of it and lands another Shining Wizard on AJ, but then Styles turned that into a Styles Clash. And he goes for the pin. 1, 2, rope. CM Punk grabs the rope, stops the pin. That leads to Punk rolling out the ring. AJ gets on the apron, tries to go for the sliding knee again on Punk, but it gets caught by Punk, and he picks him up. Hits him with the GTS. They're both on the ground. The ref is counting him off. You know, at around 5 or 6, Punk tries to pick up AJ, but you know, it's been a long match. He's tired. He's heavy. He just rolls in the ring. Punk rolls in the ring. And then it's getting close. It's getting close. It's getting to 8, 9. AJ beats the count. No counter for AJ. Is trying to pick up AJ again, but AJ's playing possum because he goes for a roll up. 1, 2, kick out from Punk. But off the kick out, he puts him into the Styles Clash. Boom. 1, 2, kick out from Punk again. Punk ain't letting that belt go. That leads to AJ getting on the apron to go for that phenomenal forearm. When he hits the rope, Punk instantly throws that man down onto the ground. They both get up now. We get into the boo, yeah, boo, yeah, boo, yeah. Then back-to-back combos. And it finishes off with AJ winning the boo, yeah, with the Pele kick. That leads to AJ picking up Punk, going for the Styles Clash. That gets reversed into a GTS. Now AJ Styles is a GTS, but that gets reversed into a Styles Clash again. Fights out of it and reverses that into another GTS. Now he's holding AJ. AJ's holding the rope trying to fight back, and everything gets ruined because Finn Balor runs in the match, attacks, interrupts the match. Now it's a DQ. Nobody wins. Finn Balor just whoops everybody, but he mostly gets most of the damage on CM Punk by doing multiple kicks to CM Punk outside on the barricade. He does 2 of those. Then he gets CM Punk into the ring, goes on the top rope and lands 3 coup de grace in a row. And that's the end of the show. My review of the match before it ended, that was a 5-star match for me. You know, he gave us AJ Styles giving us back-to-back bangers. I think the Shinsuke Nakamura match was better, but this match is also that high of a level for me. Uh, these guys, for people that you barely for like them having limited matches we've seen, their chemistry is second to none. Amazing match. I think AJ's losing against Gunther, which is pretty sad. So we won't get a real end to this encounter. But overall, I enjoyed the match. Can't wait to see what this new thing with Finn Balor is going to be doing. That is the end of part 2 of today's Raw. If you enjoy WWE content like this, enjoy my videos, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And make sure also to share the video to other wrestling fans or to newbies. I'm Twist, and I still don't know if I'm going to be making a review for Royal Rumble. Still trying to figure out how to do that, but maybe. And I'm out.